Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah and this is my manga monthly Monday for March, coming in a little late because life happens. I will go ahead and start this off by saying the big sad news of my manga life. I think I'm going to DNF Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I think I'm gonna DNF Jujutsu Kaisen. So I read, I believe, yes, volume 18 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I think I'm done. I think I'm done. So I am also the type of reader that will, I enjoy spoilers. I enjoy looking forward in a series and seeing what's to come. One, because it allows me to determine if I'm going to continue, especially if I'm not enjoying something. And two, it will actually heighten the excitement for me. I want to know how we get to where we get to. And based on spoilers I have seen for Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't think I want to put in the time and effort, especially with some recent chapters that have been coming out in which Sakuna and a old flame friend are occupying two related bodies and things are happening there. I'm done. My thoughts on chapter 18 are basically, I didn't like the little mini arc we went through with the Fight Club. I don't give a damn about this whole culling game. I've decided it came out of nowhere. It feels like filler, and based on what I've seen, it quite possibly is just filler. And the way that our mangaka abruptly jumped from a very, very good arc to a big time jump where things didn't happen and we weren't shown those things and now we were in this game, it didn't work for me. Maybe one day far, far in the future when it's over, if I find out that possibly the payout was worth it, then I might go back. But as of right now, it's on the DNF shelf. I think I will focus in on going back into some of the other longer series that I'm working on. So I will try to return to Black Clover, I do believe. I'm still working on One Piece, and I do want to continue reading the JoJo manga. So I'll probably focus my energy off of Jujutsu Kaisen into some of those this month. I'm just really not in a happy place with Jujutsu Kaisen, so goodbye. On to equally as meh news. Not sure if I mentioned it in the last one, but I did read Fangs Volume 1, and I really strongly disliked this. It's not that it offended me in any way, but this is a boys love vampire, boys love manga, and it felt just there for the titillation and the smut, and I'm just, give me at least something. At least make it good. At least make it good. And it didn't work for me. I didn't like it. I really didn't like the fact that the characters seemed to flip personalities from one page to the next. One character in specific really did this, and it really, really frustrates me when that happens. So I'm not going to continue with this series. I'm very happy I bought this on sale, and I didn't actually pay full price for it. So there's that. The next things that I read, though, I read four? Let me look. Yes. I read 4 volumes of Ancient Magus Bride. So that is going to be 12, 13, 14, and 15. I have 16 and 17 already here, so they will be read in the next couple weeks, and I will talk about those next month. But this is continuing the second arc of Ancient Magus Bride, which is the college arc. This is currently what's also airing on the anime. This is, of course, a little ahead of it, and I'll come back to that. I was going to say I did start the anime after the episode in, but I have thoughts. Very small ones, funny ones. But the manga is picking up. So the last check-in I believe I did, I was not fully convinced that the second arc was going to be as good as the first arc, and now I am on board and very convinced. This is also a lot more complicated than I think the first arc was. So this is a much broader cast of characters, and we're also going from just being caught up in Chisei and Elias's machinations with the other mages and the beings that habitate around their home, to the alchemist and the alchemist school, and we're getting caught up in what might be the beginnings of another alchemist house war, and I'm loving this. I'm loving all the little rules and how intricate everything is, and all the new characters, especially Philomena here. She, oh my god, she breaks my heart. So, at the beginning of the arc, I found her intensely suspicious, with good reason. She acted that way, but I found her very suspicious, and I didn't like her. But now, knowing more about her, specifically these two and their relationships, my heart, it's just taking a hammer to it, right? Every time she shows up on the page and something happens, it's just beating me with how much I hurt for her. So we're getting that same emotive feeling that we got for some of the characters in the first arc in the second arc, and it's fantastic. I highly recommend sticking with it if you start the second arc and you're not fully convinced. They're doing some fantastic things here. There are a few loose ties and things that are being teased that I'm not sure how it's going to pan out. Specifically, some of the exiled alchemists in the basement sort of area of the school. I'm not sure how that's going to tie in. And I'm getting a little frustrated on how some of the storylines are being stretched and stretched and stretched, and that I want resolutions on. But I'm not sure yet if that is because I'm getting impatient because they have to do with the Websters and the spiders, or if that's because the pacing itself on the story is really long. I'll report back in 2 volumes when I'm caught up. But I am super loving that. Like I said, I really like the Websters and the spider arc story. I really want to know more what happens there. 1, because I love spiders, and 2, I love how that arc connects so well with the first arc, with the one character, I'm not going to spoil who it is, the one character from the first arc who's very predominant, especially in the very beginning and the end of that arc. So, Ancient Magus Bride is going fantastic. My one note on the anime, I watched the first episode with my best friend and my husband, and the voice actor for Elias sounds so much like Christopher Sabat that I almost lost my shit. Because now, I love Chris Sabat. He's one of my favorite voice actors, but mainly because every time he voice acts in something, 1, I know who he is immediately, and 2, I no longer hear anyone else besides Yami from the Black Bulls screaming, "I'm going to kill you," when someone walks in on him pooping. So I'm very glad it wasn't Chris Sabat, so now I don't have that association. But I almost had that association, and it's very funny. I'm not sure that I like the voice actor for Elias, because it's not the voice I would have picked. But we'll see. I'll continue watching hopefully soon, and I'll have more thoughts moving forward. But I just want to throw it out there. I thought it was Christopher, and I almost went, nope, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. But it's not, so it's fine. Witch Hat Atelier. I know this is getting a, what do I want to call it? A popularity moment on booktube. I am finally getting to it, back to it, I should say. I read the first volume about 3 years ago at this point, because it was before my daughter was born. So 4 years ago, volumes 2 and 3. So the first book in this really sets up what looks like it's going to be a very wholesome story. And now I'm beginning to see that it's not quite so wholesome. This whole series is about a young girl named Coco, and Coco wants to be a witch. Then one day, she finds a connection to magic, which she didn't know that she would be able to make, because magic is kind of kept very separate and secret and far away from the common people, and she finds a connection and a way to use magic alongside a tragedy that drives her forward to learn more about the magic and to begin to use it. And it looks so wholesome. The artwork is beautiful. It makes you think, oh my gosh, it's gonna be cute, it's gonna be lovely, but I'm starting to see the darker undertones in this, and I'm very, very excited for that. It's going to be definitely one of those coming of age sort of mangas. So if you don't enjoy coming of age, I don't recommend this. If you do, however, I strongly recommend this, especially if you also just love beautiful artwork. This is going to be one that, even if you're not enjoying the story, I'm going to be honest, you're going to be sitting there looking at the pages for a few minutes for each page, because every page has something new that I'm just like, oh my god. The art on this is fantastic. I'll add, I really like some of the world building elements to this. So little things like the hats. Their hats are pointed and without the rims on it to indicate that they are a more modern and a proper witch. The brimmed hats are the ones who are like evil, or they used magic for themselves, or they were selfish, or so the story goes. It could not be that may not be the case. We don't actually know yet fully. I suspect that there's more there to that story than what we're given, but it's just very interesting and well done and thought out, and I really recommend this. I'll have more thoughts maybe next month. I plan on picking up the next few. I think there's 10 volumes out if I can find them cheap used online, which I try to buy all my manga used as much as I can. I will have more thoughts then. But Witch Hat Atelier, 3 volumes in, and I think it's a keeper for sure for me. As far as single volumes that I read that in series that I'm going to continue, I read Komi Can't Communicate. I believe I read volume number 12 or 13. This is just a fun, light series that's just Komi making friends. It's the story of Komi, who has a communication disorder. She doesn't really know how to talk to people. She can't physically talk to people. In most cases, it requires her to really work up to it in her quest to obtain 100 friends. It's not a perfect series by any stretch, but it is very fun to read a volume at a time. Every couple weeks, I pick up a volume. In this case, it's been a month or two since I've read a volume, and I was extremely excited about this one. This one made me cry. This had the story, I think her name was Ryu, the little girl. A little girl stayed with Komi, and there was just this little story arc of how this little girl is always being shuffled around from person to person while her mom goes off on these adventures, and how she doesn't make friends because she doesn't think it's worth it. And Komi kind of breaks through her shell, and they become friends, and they kind of give each other this challenge, you know, of who's going to make 100 friends first. And it's so wholesome. It was so good. It was so wholesome and so good, and I loved it. Oh, I really recommend it. I know a lot of people don't stick with the series very long, but oh man, I really do think some of these little mini arcs are really good. I still love Nobunaga. Like, I believe that was her name. Nobanga? I can't remember her name. The fashion girl. I still love her story, and I'm very excited every time she shows up on the page. So yes, Komi Can't Communicate is still a favorite series of mine, and I did read the next one. That I also read the 5th volume of One Piece. I am enjoying that. That was the one in which they finally got their boat. I believe that's really all that happened. They finished the fight with the, what they call the Black Cats, the gentleman who did this. That was so weird. Yeah, we finished the fight and they got their boat, and I haven't read much more of that. I got really fired in on Ancient Magus Bride. I really wanted to catch up on that, so I'm so close now. So hopefully, especially with my attention being off of Jujutsu Kaisen, I could focus in on One Piece some more, but I'm still liking that. I think I gave that volume like 4 stars. I want to see more of where we're going. I did read a little bit further than just volume 5, so I have seen the next character that I know joins the crew. I don't remember his name, but he's in the suit. He's interesting. That's really all I've got for him right now. I said he's interesting. And the final manga that I read, and I believe, yes, the final manga that I have read that's a single volume in a series is Dinosaur Sanctuary, Volume 2. First off, I would like to say I am very interested to see, so in this picture here we see, I think she's an allosaur. She does not have lips over her teeth, and very recently an article has come out that says, in fact, T-Rex and their relatives, so here's some more artwork with her, no lips, you can see there. They actually did have lips that covered their teeth. The enamel on their teeth was thin, which meant that they couldn't be exposed to the elements like it commonly is depicted in artwork. So I'm interested to see how and if the art on this changes to adapt for that current, new science. Anyway, as to the volume itself, I just ran down the stairs to get this. As to the volume itself, I really liked this. We don't get a whole lot more on the storyline between the zookeepers, the young lady who's working here, and this one that's mentoring her. What we do get is an arc with a baby dinosaur. That was amazing. Look. cute. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Anyway, so we get this little mini story about this. She has to take this little baby dinosaur home, and how it's the runt of the litter. She's feeding it to, you know, build up its muscle mass, build up its density, that sort of thing. She figures out that she's not only got to do that, she's got to build his confidence, because he is the runt. He is going to get picked on no matter what. And it's that story. And oh my god, I'm a sucker for babies. Baby anything, honestly. So that story, little arc in here alone made this worth the price of admission for me. The two other little arcs were also very good. There was a very sad one at the very beginning that really set up the whole, like, make you sad, make you really happy sort of emotional manipulation that really works well for these. And then there was, I believe the second one set up the last one was the happy birthday episode. Let's call it that, the happy birthday chapter, which features this elderly lady. And it was also very sweet and wholesome. I'm wondering if in the third volume we're going to get more of the story of the fact that the zoo is being threatened with being shut down, because we don't get much of that in this one. We don't get a lot of the actual, like, meta plot of, oh no, are they going to lose their funding? Are the dinosaurs all going to be, you know, put down or sent off? This is more the in and out, the day-to-day, and sort of focusing in on the characters and the dinosaurs and their relationships. I'm wondering if the third one is going to be more of that meta, and I'm hoping it is, but we'll find out next year, I suppose. I don't know that the third one comes out till early next year, so. But this series continues to be a huge win, especially if you love dinosaurs the way I do, or you want something that's a little different. I recommend this. I recommend this wholeheartedly. It's great. So for next month, like I mentioned, I plan on finishing Ancient Magus' Bride. I'm going to catch up, so I have volume 16 right here, and 17 is downstairs. I'm going to read the light novels that I have that are associated with it. I also have Tombs by Junji Ito. I'm so excited. This came out, I got this on release day. This is one of the few things I will spend. I will buy these new, because I love Junji Ito, and plus you never see them used. So I have this to read. I haven't read it yet. I keep saving it for a day when I really need it, and frankly, that might be today. It might be time to read this tonight after my little one goes to bed. I also hopefully will get some more One Piece in, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I do really want to start JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I have seen, kind of over the shoulder of my husband, most of the anime, so I really want to read the manga. They're beautiful in physical edition, but also I really want to read it because it's hilarious. The bits and bops I've seen, which is most of it at this point, it is so over the top and fantastic. Let me know if you read any of this stuff, what you think. Is there anything you would recommend to me to pick up? I am currently in a wibbly wobbly place where I'm not entirely sure where to put my attention, especially with having given up on Jujutsu Kaisen like I have. So let me know if there's anything you would recommend. I will talk to you guys again in a few weeks. If you're interested in my more bookish thoughts on things, definitely check out some of my other videos. But until next month, I will be seeing you guys. You guys have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you then.